Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, July 28th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I listen for the infinite ways the universe shows up and shows me love. So today we've been moving through these astro waves. We're kind of coming to the completion of July, coming to the completion of some of the July crazy energies. Today, we have Mercury finishing up in Leo, moving into Virgo, where it will be going into a retrograde. Down the line, a couple weeks, about 3 weeks, it'll go into a retrograde. Just realized the day has a retrograde. Joe has an eye doctor appointment, which probably is definitely not the best day to get new glasses. So note to self. We're also building to a full moon. And so between Mercury shifting signs, full moon building, and kind of completing our last bit of the nodal squares. Now, it's still going to be dancing in the realm, right? Today is our last, I think, exact square point. Phew. That's enough. Enough of these power lessons. And the nodes are going to, continue kind of moving on, and Pluto's going to take its time, slowly rolling through Capricorn, helping us shift our old structures, our power games, our games with authority, and all that. But we have this one last square. Now, exact square. Now, this is also interesting with the astro energy. Today may feel a little bit more fiery, cue fire coming out of my hand, than the last one, because the moon is in Sagittarius. So we have the sun in Leo, moon in Sagittarius, north node in Aries. So all the fire signs being activated in this energy. And when the fire signs are activated, we can find ourselves creative, inspired. We can lean towards optimism and cheeriness. But those inner fires can also erupt. Our inner impatience, our inner frustrations may come up. Now, we still also have the yachtiness happening. Mercury's finishing up the yachtiness, but is still involved in the yachtiness. Venus is still in the yachtiness. Lilith is still in the yachtiness. And that just adds to the potential for, lighting a match and then throwing a stick of dynamite at it, so to speak. So, awareness of needing patience, feeling grounded, and just recognizing, especially with the mercurial shift, that there could be some frustrating moments, Mercury shenanigans, that make you want to throw the stick of dynamite, so to speak, right? So just keep your awareness of that. And I love going back to the energy mantra. There are infinite ways that the universe is showing us love in every moment. And sometimes when we get so frustrated with these things, that's the energy that we want to move into. That's the energy we want to look at. This is where Mercury in Virgo is so nice. Mercury in Virgo is I get to choose where I put my focus. And so if you put it on the good, the satisfying, looking for that, you're going to see it. It's so easy in this world, especially with what's going on right now, to be this is happening and this is happening. I'm there. It's been tough. But a lot of people have been commenting, you're finding your way through this with a lot of grace. I really feel like I am. It doesn't mean that there haven't been many times curled up in my bed, crying, being silent, processing. That's how I process things, right? But I have made it a point, very strong point, especially since Joe was hospitalized, to really be looking for the good, to help me stay afloat, to help me stay, a buoy. And there's just as much, in fact, even more good that's happening. But when we get so bombarded by the challenges, by the stories that are specifically spun for reaction purposes, we can also find ourselves spinning out. So recognize that and do yourself a favor and lean into this Sagittarius moon, lean into the love that we're being called into, and recognize the reflections of it that are always here for you in any given moment. There's always love here for you. So, Mercury into Virgo. That's going to shift at 2:31 p.m. I actually love the message of looking for the love, looking for the good, looking for the play, looking for the joy with Mercury at 29 degrees. Love is the master energy of Leo. And so, at that final degree, if you can tune into that, you are going to be supporting yourself in the moving forward. You're going to be supporting yourself as Venus continues this retrograde for the next month plus. So let your focus come to that. Let that be that lesson for you. Mercury and Virgo, watch for where you nitpick. Watch for where you find it easy to get critical. Now, I always said that Virgo can be like, one of these things is not like the other. What was that, from Sesame Street? I'm not sure. But it can be like, it's like, oh, I see the thing that's not fitting in. That is a gift of Virgo. Virgo is a natural born editor. Like, oh, that word is spelled wrong. You have an extra space here. You're missing a comma. That's the natural Virgo energy. And so we can use that for good, right? With Mercury in Virgo. But when we become perfectionists about everything in our lives, we can wring the joy out of it. A long time ago, I made it a point to be me, not edit my videos. You can see from my hair is definitely not perfect today. My hair reflects the state of Leo, and it is just like, whatever today. So fine, whatever. I trip over my words. I can't think of the word. And it's great. It's wonderful because it's not about perfection. It's about just the realness, allowing the unfolding. And that's the flip side of Virgo. Virgo is the realness. Virgo is the wholeness, the holiness, the holy unfolding. I love connecting to Virgo, the wholeness, holiness of everything. That Virgo brings us together, body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart. Virgo is a collective of that energy moving forward. Virgo is the last of the singular signs. When we move into Libra, that's where we become connected in relational energy. So Virgo is where we're meant to connect into the all that is of ourselves and embrace it for better or for worse. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't do healing work. It doesn't mean that we can't improve ourselves, better ourselves. That's part of the wholeness and the holiness as well. But it's not about being critical. It's about embracing the perfection in the imperfection and moving in that. And this is where we all have a lot of mental work to do. So start recognizing, and not be critical about it, where you may be critical about yourself, about things. Is this helpful, this critical energy? Is there a kind way that this critical energy could be brought forward? A healing, a holy way. And if it deals with somebody else, have you been invited? But this is more focused on the self, because this is the summer of self-love. Recognizing that if there's a kinder way that you can look at yourself, that you can talk to yourself, this is the time to work on healing those layers of self-talk. I always liken the Virgo Pisces access to Jesus's gifts. And the Virgo is an important part of those gift energies. So to be able to love ourselves like Jesus, that sounds really nice. I think we would all like that. Virgo will be at 0. It may feel a little retrograde-y. Virgo will be at 0. Mercury will be at 0, feeling a little retrograde-y. That plus moving out of this yacht energy. It's been pretty wackadoo. So, and like I said, we also have that exact nodal Pluto square again, which is bringing up the power stuff. Moon in Sagittarius, like I said, calling us to have a higher perspective, hopefully supporting us in leaning into the good in any of these situational energies. Now, the moon in Sagittarius is going to square Saturn, and it is going to square Mars. Specifically, that Mars connection, but even a little bit of the Saturn, may feel a little bit like, well, I know best. Well, I know best, whether you're doing that with the universe, with a partner, with somebody else, and the rest of the astro can just kaboom it. So watch for where you think you know. It's wonderful that you know for your life. It's also a great thing to say, well, I think I know, but I'm also open for expanded knowings. I'm open to learn and know more and to listen to other perspectives. That will help in this energy. Sagittarius, I'm tripping over my words because, hello, Mercury. Sagittarius and Virgo are probably the two biggest know-it-alls of the zodiac. So anytime their signs are kind of like, rubbing against each other, who knows best? You both know pieces, and your pieces can help infuse each other with a grander unfolding. So just keep that in mind. We're also going to have the Sun and Saturn dancing in conjunct, which is ridiculous. The astro is ridiculous. And that could just kind of heighten the drama of it all. Because that's what we need, is just a little bit more drama. So, the cards we have for today. If you can find the playfulness in the drama, if you can laugh about it, you are going to find your way into harmony. Love that. However, there's some experiencing, there's some tuning in, there's some lessons coming through. I always love the experiencing card because it's like, yeah, you're experiencing stuff, but you're growing from it. That growth is so important. We also have the abundance card in reverse. Zorba the Buddha. Are you a little too in your spiritual? Are you a little too in the physical? Do you need to find where your balance is in between those spaces? And it's not just necessarily those spaces. Are you finding yourself ungrounded in this energy? We are building to a full moon, which is just feeding into everything as well. So take that time to get grounded. Take the time to breathe. Take the time to look for the good. And if it gets a little intense, have a little fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for now. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. Remember that with this square. And remember who you are. Great and wonderful, powerful being of love. Namaste.